I'm going to tell the last story of the evening. If you will just bear with me, I just want to get one sip of water. Yeah, a little music. There you go. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, JP. Thank you, all the storytellers. The name of my story is The Gift of the Shrimp. So there's this little shrimp in the ocean that takes a wrong turn somewhere and swims into the fisherman's net. Happy Fisherman sells his catch to the seafood distributor, who sells it to Panda Express. Now, parents around the world know that fast food is a lifesaver. When you're bringing your kids along and you've got homework club and soccer practice and everything else. So that was the boat that I was in. This little shrimp at Panda Express got dressed up. He was now deceased, but he got dressed up as walnut shrimp. And I was in that boat that hot summer day in July back in Los Angeles with my two kids, 5 and 12. I went to Panda Express for a quick meal. They had the noodles. I had the walnut shrimp. The air was abuzz because everybody was really excited for 4th of July, which was that Friday. And I was like a super mom. I loved doing things for my kids. I was volunteering. I was doing everything. I knew all about Pokemon, Lion King, WWE, even flag football. I was really into it, but it had been a long, long time since I'd had an adult conversation with anyone who wasn't a teacher or a coach. And I was still a woman in my prime, and I was feeling kind of lonely and invisible that particular evening when I took them to Panda Express. But I pushed through that pity party, and we had a lovely little dinner, and the next day, I felt a hard lump in my lower intestine, definitely local, in a specific spot, and it kind of pinched when I turned a certain way. But I used the Rocky Ross medical method, which is ignore it. And so I did. I was just fine with that until Thursday. It started to get a little bit more pressure and a little bit weird. So I put my kids with Grandma and Grandpa, and I drove over to Kaiser after hours. And the receptionist took me down a long hallway, fluorescent hallway, to an exam room at the very end of the hallway. And there I sat in my crinkly paper exam gown and sat and sat and sat. And finally, I hear some rustling, some papers rustling in the next room, and I poke my head out and say, "Did you guys forget about me?" They had. So I was not only invisible, but forgotten. They said, "Okay, just stay right there. We'll get a doctor right away." So 15 minutes later, in walks a lovely young doctor in her pressed white lab coat. She was trying to cover up her annoyance because I'm sure she was thinking, okay, I'm off, I get to go home. I noticed a big rock, like an engagement ring, so she was probably anxious to go home to her main squeeze for some fireworks. And the next day was 4th of July, and it was a big weekend, but so she did her duty. She examined me. She felt the lump, and I told her about the shrimp that I had at Panda Express, and it was my shrimp theory, and she just put that down, and then she started spitballing all these other theories. She didn't know what it was, but she kept glancing at her watch. She just really wanted to go home. And finally she came up with some kind of treatment. I didn't quite understand what it was, but I said, okay. And she goes, okay, I'll be right back. And then about a few minutes later, she comes back in with one of these giant syringes and goes like this, with the water, and bend over. I said, no way. I'm out of there. I did not want that experimental treatment. She didn't even know what she was treating. On the ride home, I had a conversation with the shrimp. I said, we're going to have to duel this out. I don't know how, but I'm going to ignore you for now. The next day was 4th of July. And my older son, I went off with his middle school friends, and my younger son, who was 5, we were planning to just watch some movies and watch the fireworks from our backyard in Culver City. And I was thrilled just to have the downtime. It's going to be cozy with him. So I take all my makeup off, and I change into my linty old sweatpants and my torn t-shirt with mustard stains, and I'm just going to be chilling with my son. It's going to be a chillax evening. I'm feeling the thing there, but I'm just ignoring it. And we go outside when the sun sets. We're getting ready to watch the fireworks. When the lump starts a stabbing pain that's constant, and I start hobbling to my bathroom, just doubled over in pain, and little Mateo follows me. Mom, what's wrong? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to stiff upper lip it because, that's what super moms do. And I am feeling this excruciating pain and thinking I'm going to faint. And I try to avoid that, and I lean over the sink and start pouring water on myself, splashing water all over my head and face and everything, and then it just fells me, and I double over and fall to the ground, clutching my stomach. The last thing I remember before I passed out was saying, call 911. And then I passed out just briefly, and I came to, and it was gone. The pain was gone. And I felt so relieved. I dragged myself to my bed, and I'm laying there all pasty and pale. And then I hear banging on the door. And Mateo goes and opens the door, and I hear a deep voice, hey, little buddy, where's your mom? And Mateo leads a full brigade of firemen into my room. My bedroom has a narrow entryway, and they're clanging all their little equipment and kits, and they're in their fire retardant neon jackets and helmets, and they file in single file. There must have been 6 or 8 of them. They surrounded my bed on every side. And I just looked at them, and this was not how I wanted to be seen. I was definitely no longer invisible. I was now the epicenter of their caring gaze. One of them bent down next to me and put on a blood pressure cuff and started pumping it, and they were all saying, what happened to you? What happened? And I said, well, I had this pain and everything. I doubled over, I fainted, but I'm fine now. You guys, you can go. But they didn't. And I just had to drink in the sight. I was looking. They were all so handsome ladies. There is something about firemen. Whenever they put on that, they were all different colors. They just had beautiful straight jaws and kind eyes, and they were smiling. And I felt thrilled to be the center of attention. And I felt a little guilty, but I did undress them with my eyes. I gave in to the fever dream, and I created a Chippendales calendar, which is still stored right up here. And just seeing their beautiful bodies in their little boxer shorts, and they were just fabulous. And then I noticed one of them, it snapped me back into reality, because one of them was looking at me kind of quizzically, like with a really furrowed brow, and he says, "Why are you so wet?" And I explained that I had poured water on myself, just trying not to faint. And then I said to them, "Why are there so many of you?" And the guy in charge said, "Oh, these are our trainees." And it seemed like they were just happy to be out of the station, and they didn't want to leave. And so we made small talk. And then I heard some firecrackers, and I said, "Guys, you really should go. Probably you have more important things to do." And so they trampled out, clanging all the way, each of them giving me a very sweet smile. "Take care, take care." And I listened to them go down the hall, and then it was quiet. Mateo called to me, "Mom, come watch Lion King." And we cuddled up on the couch. That was enough fireworks for one day. Now, I must say that I never felt that pain again, but I also never ate walnut shrimp ever again. But every 4th of July, I do call up that beautiful image, and I spray a little water on myself just to tamp the fire down. Thank you. That's our show. Please come and donate if you enjoyed it, and sign our little book there so we can get your email and keep you apprised of everything. Thank you so much, storytellers. Thank you, JP, for driving down. All the regular storytellers, and Heather, our new storyteller. And thank you, Pat and Suzanne, for giving us this beautiful venue. Would you guys... We'll maybe do this again. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, thank you so much. Drive safe. Story on.